Gearhead in training. I am taking my brother's 68 Mustang Fastback to Home Depot. We'll see how it goes. We installed the Holley Sniper EFI 2 in it a little while ago, and I'm a noob. So not only am I trying to figure out how to fine tune it to make sure that it works properly, I'm also not the most experienced with it. So I figured I actually got a mount specifically for my phone. That way I can actually take you guys along with me. I feel like I need to get something else because I just got this phone mount. I have a mount for the Bluetooth. And I just got this phone mount. I'm like, well, maybe if I get another phone mount, I can actually temporarily mount the Sniper because, well, I could take you here. I will show you guys. Let's turn the camera around. This is what the dash looks like right now. And the Sniper, but in the meantime, I'm just trying to figure out falling apart and yeah. So usually if I record in the vehicle, I am recording and then I can go back and edit. Because we are live right now, you guys get to see the unedited version of me figuring out. Also, I'm new to manual driving, so I'm like a little bit nervous to do this live. Okay, so I'm in my driveway right now where I usually have it connected to a battery tender. I just disconnected the battery tender, and because we need to work on that e-brake because the e-brake's not the best. I have it in first. It's a 4-speed manual. And so every time I get into the car, I have to remind myself how to drive it since I'm still pretty new. So it's in first. In order to start it, I need to make sure I have the brake and the clutch all the way in. Yeah, I wanted to make sure I drive it before, because my husband and I are leaving out of town today. We're going to actually, the shirt that I'm wearing, First Form Summer Smash today. Well, it starts Thursday. It's Thursday, Friday, Saturday in St. Louis. And we're going to be leaving. So, good day, good day. Hello. What, Van Dan Escobar? Thank you for joining me. I'm like super high anxious, and you guys get to see this live. Usually I try to show the most authentic version of myself on the YouTube, but you guys get the unedited version right now. And I honestly, after I got back from Holley LS Fest, Texas, I was really, I struggle with anxiety, depression, and suicide ideations. I've struggled with it all my life, and I've been working through it. And when you see my content, you don't see that because like I seem like I don't struggle with those things, but the reality is that I do. And I didn't actually post a long form video this week because my anxiety was so bad. And not that it was an excuse, that's just the reality of what I was dealing with. And I decided, not that I couldn't post anything, I'm slowly pulling the clutch out. Let's see. Okay, so this is what the Holley Sniper looks like. I got to figure out what's going on with this. I might need to get a new monitor. I don't know if I bumped it wrong. We did have a rats issue, but I didn't notice. So I'm going to stop talking every once in a while because I'm going to be thinking. Okay, I'm pulling the clutch out and pulling the brake out. I'm in first, and I live across the street from a school, so it gets a little bit crowded. Gotta make sure I don't hit no kiddos, because that would be no good. So just forewarning, the car will possibly stall at some point during this drive. That's something that we're working on with setting the Sniper parameters, because as I said, I'm really new. Okay, so that was a speed bump, so that was a big speed bump, so I make sure I put in the clutch. Okay, so it didn't die that time. I'm gonna keep it in first. So the nice thing about my neighborhood is that I get a mix stoplight so I get some experience there. Oh, come on, come on. See, it died. Driving, I'm not going to be looking at the comments. When I stop, I'll definitely, acknowledge you guys. Just want to make sure I drive safely. So it's something that I'm learning. Not only am I new to manual driving, I'm also trying to figure out this car because it's something that my dad struggled with. Come on, don't die, don't die. She died again. Ugh. Learning how to breathe. Not only am I new to manual driving, I'm trying to figure out why she's stalling, what settings I needed to change in the Holy, and since it's not mounted on the dash and like she fucking died again. Excuse my cursing. Oh, come on, come on, come on, come on, come on, come on. I don't know what's going on with the computer right now. That's one thing I need to, like, it's helpful to have somebody who's knowledgeable in the passenger seat to be looking at the screen to tell me what's going on, because we did some adjustments in the computer system, and we're probably going to have to continue making more or figure, because it might not be the sniper system, you know, it might be something else that's going on. Oh, she died again. So she hasn't stalled this much in a quick minute. Learning as well, so because I'm new, could be due to my driving. There's other things in the car too. My dad had issues with it before he died, and my goal is to be able to get the car running and running well. Hopefully it doesn't die again. Come on. Ugh. Well, you guys get to see this raw, real and raw. Go ahead. The last time I drove it, it only died twice. And a couple times previous, before we made some adjustments, she died at every stop sign. So stop sign. Please don't die. Okay, good. She saved herself. And also, there's different temperature. Again, I do apologize for the cursing. I don't typically like to curse. I'll try to edit that out typically, but I am not gonna lie, I am anxious. And okay, let's see what happens. Go into neutral. Will she save herself? Yes. Sweet. Okay, cool. Go, go. is just go back home and not worry about going to Home Depot just yet. I'll probably take my truck because I don't want to take her to Home Depot and then run into issues there, because I'm leaving on a plane later today. I don't have the wiggle room to potentially get stuck at Home Depot today. So I'll just drive a little ways. That way you guys can hang out with me for a bit. And then, you know, I'll stop once I get to the house and look through your guys' comments and respond and stuff like that. I just, again, while I'm driving, it's not safe to do, so I'm not going to do that. Oh, come on, don't die. Yeah, she saved herself. I like it, I like it. That's the self-learning part of the car. So if you guys have heard of the Great Race, I will actually be participating in the Great Race at the end of this month. Oh, come on, I'm trying to go into third. There we go. We're gonna have to work on the mechanisms in the car because they're not exactly lined up at the moment. Yeah, so I'm gonna be participating in the Great Race. Oh, come on. At the end of this month. So stay tuned for that. That's gonna be loads of fun. Okay, going into neutral because we're downhill a little bit. With Riley's Rebuilds, Real Caroline, there's going to be a ton of people that are going to be going, a big group of women, and I'm going to be trying to post every day. So make sure you subscribe to my channel if you guys want to see what's going on for that. We have a ton of sponsors. I wouldn't be able to go to this event without the sponsors. So far, I've talked with Summit, Peak, Coker Tire. I'm trying to remember off the top of my head, but we have a handful of sponsors. Oop, that was my bad. I didn't put the clutch all the way in before changing. Oh, I gotta learn how to breathe. Down regulation is like the thing that I've been working on, is especially in high situations like this, I forget to breathe and then my heart rate shoots up, my anxiety shoots up. So working on should I just go to Home Depot? Because I'm almost there. I didn't bring the jumper with me. You know. I'm being indecisive. I'm not super confident right now in that. Okay. Oh, come on. Yeah, I'm just gonna go home. I don't want to risk it. Not confident enough for that yet. Although I do like that she stopped stalling and I want to drive her a little bit more. What I might do is just kind of go roundabout way. Not go directly home right away. Try to, I might go back down Garfield. Because Garfield is the street that has all the stop signs on it. A little bit safer when I'm dealing with stop signs and stoplights when it's stalling. We'll see. Because the street I'm on now has more stoplights and there is a bit of traffic, so if I stall it, there's a little bit more traffic that would be behind me. Okay, going into neutral and cruising for a second. And come on, Betsy, second. Nope. Come on. Where's neutral? Gosh darn it. Yeah, we got to work on making sure the linkage is more lined up because I struggle when I'm shifting around. Hey, you know what? I'm never going to get better if I don't face this anxiety head on, if I don't work on it. Like, this is the first car I've actually gotten on the road and driven by myself as a manual. I had attempted driving my dad had attempted teaching me multiple times, and needless to say, I sucked every time. Okay, good, she didn't stall. Because I don't know if you guys can hear it on your end, but she's saving herself. Is what happens is you can hear it when I put the clutch in and slow down. So it's either downshifting or going into, well, yeah, downshifting. Because downshifting includes when I go into neutral to go to a stop sign. That you can hear the engine, the RPMs drop, and then depending on the engine or whatever is going on, it will either save itself and you hear the RPMs go back up, or it will die. Like right now, because of traffic, I'm going between second and third. Putting it in neutral because I don't know if these people are going to be stopping or not, because there's a lot of stop signs or stop lights, and then people obviously don't know what they're doing. I can't be judging right now because I'm trying to figure out what the car's doing, and you know, at all those stop signs that was at, I was the one holding everybody up. So no judgment here. Yeah, so I'm just trying to read the traffic, trying to read the car, also as I'm learning how to manually drive. It's definitely a learning curve for someone like myself, and I'm never going to get better unless I face it head on. So I'm grateful for the opportunity, and I'm not only, because so for those of you who are popping on now, this is my brother's 1968 Mustang Fastback, and I've been working on it as best as with my ability and help. I'm not doing everything by myself. In my dad's memory, and also for my brother, because it's my brother's car. My dad was really into classic cars, and when he died, the car wasn't actually running at the time because he was having issues with the Holly Sniper EFI 1. Oh, come on, let's find neutral. And after he passed, I started trying, because I knew nothing. And I have a 69 Camaro that it's the unibody on jack stands with nothing done on it, really. My dad had made it, well, not nothing. He pretty much got me set up to build the car. And I'm just, right now I'm learning. There's a lot that I need to figure out how to do, what things mean, before I can actually really start working on the car. Because how am I supposed to, yeah, I could send it to somebody to have them do it, but I want to, be as hands-on as possible. And with my brother's car, it was pretty much together. All I had to do was make it drive again. So it was a lot less for me to learn and do on it before I got to a drivable point. Versus my Camaro, which doesn't have an engine, doesn't have anything else in it. As I'm going out to different events, meeting with companies, I'm trying to learn from them. So I'm asking them questions about their products. How is it made? What makes them different from each other? Because like what makes Bear brakes different from Wheelwood brakes? I have Wheelwood brakes. I also have a relationship with Holly, and they sell Bear brakes. So like, what's the difference? I want to be able to have conversations with people about different products. And for example, I've done a how it's made style video, if you guys go back and look, with center force clutches, I went to their main facility and saw how all the way from R&D to where they package and set things out, how do they make their clutches? Even somebody who has a ton of experience, might not know what the inside of what a clutch looks like before it's all riveted and put together. Like, do you know what Marcel is? I didn't know. Well, I'm a newbie anyway, so I didn't know what Marcel was. But Marcel is the the plate in the center of it that helps determine how smoothly or quickly the clutch engages. I actually saw that in person. I saw how they put it together. And that for me is really helpful. I'm not going to mechanic school. I'm medically retired due to a back injury, and I'm not one of those people who's going to show up, especially as a girl. I'm not going to show up to mechanic school and go, hey, can you guys help me? I can't lift this. No. Like, if I know I shouldn't be lifting or moving things, I'm not going to put myself in a situation consciously where I'm expected to do something. Like when you go to mechanic school, it's expected for you to be able to do those things, right? I don't want to put myself in a situation where that is expected of me, and then I'm like, oh, I can't do it because of my back. Like, yeah, it's a legitimate reason, but at the same time, oh, come on, clutch, clutch, clutch. But I'm not going to be one of those people. I've never wanted to be one of those people. Especially when I worked as a first responder, so I worked for the fire department on the ambulance. Like, I took a lot of pride in being able to hold my own. And obviously, it's important to ask for help when you need it. Like when you're lifting something heavy or it's awkward, it's always better to ask for help. The thing is that I always put in the work, though. I didn't ask for help and then just sat there on my behind, just waiting for someone else to do the work for me. I was always putting in the work. So it's a different mindset now because of my injury. There's certain things, come on, neutral, come on, there we go. There's certain things that I shouldn't be doing, can't do. And it's definitely a mindset shift. A mindset shift for me, and it's hard. It is really hard for me to ask for help and know that, like, for example, when I go lift at the gym, I have a personal trainer, and I don't do heavy squats, I do heavy bench. The thing is that I never do heavy bench by myself, and my personal trainer is the one that moves the 45-pound plates. Yes, I can move a 45-pound dumbbell. I have to be really careful, but the 45-pound plates are really awkward, and how it requires me to move my body, it doesn't feel good, so I don't do it. I don't risk it. So when I bench 100, my max bench right now is 170 pounds, I don't move the plates, and she stands there and spots me and makes sure that I do it right. So like in that situation, it's really hard to just sit there on the bench while she's moving the weights for me. It's a shift in mindset. So all of that said, with all this stuff with the car, I don't want to just send my car away to have it worked on. I don't want to just send my brother's car away to have it worked on by somebody different. And yes, there are certain things that I'm not going to be able to do. I'm going to need to, for example, when I have my engine built, there's certain machines that I probably won't be able to use because I'm going to be working with TEM Performance, and Rich with TEM Performance is going to help me build my engine. I guess I could have been in third. I'm still learning like how to gauge the speed and what gear I should be in. Anyway, so Rich with TEM Performance, he's a performance engine builder. Like if I said that I'm building a 3-degree stroker for my my 69 Camaro, and I could easily just send the engine to Rich and tell him what I want, he'll do it. Thing thing is that when I get it back, I'm gonna have no idea how he put it together, why these parts were important. So for me, I really want to do all the back end research from, I guess it would be unconventional way, because I want to learn. Oh, come on, neutral. I want to learn without going to mechanic school, because again, I don't want to show up and be like, I can't do this. And I'm not going to be working as a mechanic. Again, I'm not going to put myself in a situation where, you know, I'm going to be expected to do stuff. Oh, shoot. Did I? Okay, that was second. That didn't feel good. I might not have pushed the clutch all the way down. So I have really short legs. Well, my inseam is like 30, right? So my legs aren't necessarily super short. But the way that this clutch is, I have to go, like, I have the seat all the way up right now. The seat all the way up so I can get the clutch down, and my legs are like, when I get into the car, it's like super hard for me to get in. It's just the way that when I do, because my brother is much taller than me, I'm not going to mess with the pedals and the clutch unless he asks me to. But when I do my car, I'm going to have to figure out what to do so I'm not like literally right up on the steering wheel. Where was I at? Distracted by driving. Hopefully you guys are entertained. Oh my gosh, there's 58 of you. Thank you so much for being here. As I said, I'm driving, so I'm doing my best to be safe, and I'm not looking at the comments right now. Once I stop, I definitely will look at the comments, because like, oh, come on, neutral, neutral, neutral. Oh, it's getting stuck. Come on, there we go. Yeah, we definitely need to work on making sure those things are aligned. We haven't determined whether it's the external parts or the internal parts in the transmission yet. We are going to change the transmission fluid. I don't know exactly when, because my brother comes back. He's in Japan right now. He's teaching English. And my brother's teaching English in Japan, and he's coming back in August. The goal is to have the car good for him before then. The problem is we're still dealing with the stalling issue. So I am going to be going out to Holly to do some of their training courses on the EFI system. Every time I've gone out to the events, I've been working the whole time doing YouTube footage. So I have not had a chance to go talk to like Jeremy or some of their main guys about what am I doing wrong with the setup, what do I need to adjust to make sure that the car is working properly, because I think that, so my husband's best friend is mechanic, he's a mechanic, so Jeff, that's his name, he's been really helpful with me being able to he's been really helpful with me with learning how to drive the car and adjust some of the things. He said there might be some cold start stuff, because right now the temperature's at 158 and it stopped stalling, as you guys have been on here with me, it stopped stalling a little while ago. So it might be, maybe it's the cold start settings that's on the car, because the last time we drove it, it was later in the day. So I don't know, it was a little bit warmer outside. Right now, I don't know exactly how cold it is outside. It's not like freezing cold, but it's definitely colder outside right now. So that could be it, I don't know. Right after we did that, we did take video of the screen of the Holly system, and what I might do is reach out to one of the Holly guys and be like, hey, this is what the video, the actual numbers, to try to figure out, you know, what can I adjust in here. There's neutral. What do I need to do in order to make sure that this car is running right, because my brother lives, well, when he comes back from Japan, he's going to be about 2 hours from me, and he's not mechanical. My stepmother's not mechanical, and they don't necessarily, like, yes, I do know some people out in their area that do know what they're doing. My brother and my stepmother don't have those relationships with those people, so I'm gonna need to figure something out to make sure I get the car working properly. We're gonna also want to change up the fuel lines. We're gonna reroute them, because right now it's going right down the center, down the transmission tunnel, and we haven't dealt with the fuel overheating at this point, but we don't know if that's going to be an issue down the line. And there are definitely lots of people that have Mustangs, that have experience with Mustangs, that say that down the center isn't necessarily the best place to go. So what I'm gonna talk to my brother to confirm that he's okay with this, but we're thinking of moving the fuel lines back to the factory location, which is kind of along the pinch welds. So we're probably going to get a stainless steel factory lines. Oh, I'm so happy it's not stalling anymore. So we're thinking of putting it back where the factory lines are, and then getting some Teflon, and then routing the rest of it, because one of the issues we're into after sitting for so long is that some of the fuel lines, like, it wasn't just leaking on the ends or anything. No, it, like, the ethanol ate through it, and I'm sure that the rest of the fuel lines might be, you know, not necessarily the same exact shape, because we haven't seen any fuel leaking issues since I've been driving it for a couple months now. That we want to replace all the fuel lines so my brother doesn't have to worry about that in the future. So that's also what we want to do. We want to change all the fluids, so the transmission fluid. We already did the engine oil, and there's, I guess, another socket that we're probably going to have to replace. But in order to do that, we're going to have to pull all the engine oil anyway, which I actually don't think it's going to be a bad thing to change the engine oil again. Like, it's not like, you know, it was like a week times in between, because the car had been sitting for so long. It would probably be good to change the engine oil again, but we have to take the pan out and do some other stuff. I'm just trying to watch the lights, so I'm not, since I still take a little bit to get the car started, I try to look at the cross lights. Okay, there are going to be some cars that are going to turn, so once they start turning, then I'll go into put the clutch in to go into first. Yeah, so there's a lot of plans of what we want to do. I am going to be traveling a lot. You know, I'm going to be going to St. Louis. I'm going to be in St. Louis until Sunday. Sunday, and then I'll be in town for, like, that didn't feel good either. And then I'm going to be doing the Great Race, which I'm going to be gone. That's a 9-day rally. So if you guys look at the route for the Great Race, if you are able to come by, it's like a rolling car show. So every lunch and dinner time, we're going to be stopped at restaurants or hotels or anything like that. So if you guys want to stop by and say hello, like, I love meeting people. And also, if one of you guys come up to me in person and I'm recording, like, I'll absolutely include you. I'll interview you. Like, depending on what kind of content I'm doing at the time, I really do like to include people. So just look at the map. Go to the Great Race. I think it's thegreatrace.com. If you guys end up pulling in my driveway in a second, so try to make sure there's no cars nearby. Oh. reverse. Okay, so I'm gonna go back into first, and then I'm gonna turn it off. Okay, and then I can pull the e-brake out. And since I'm in first, I'm not gonna roll. Okay, to finish that statement. So again, look up The Great Race. If you guys want to meet up with me, it'd be really cool to see some of you guys in person. And yeah, so now that I'm parked, I'm gonna look back through oh my gosh, you guys are so great. I love all the interaction. What car am I driving? This is my brother's 1968 Mustang Fastback. It's a 1968 woman driver. Hey, you know what? We all start somewhere. I say, oh no, a child worry about a woman driving. Oh, you guys are funny. You speak very well, clear. A lot of people mumble, and when you go live, just breathe and pace your thoughts. Thank you. Your facial expressions are hilarious. Yes, I am like an open book. I wear everything on my sleeve. Yeah, so you're definitely gonna see me. And I have been told in person I'm the same exact way. Like I try to be the same person. Like it drives me nuts when you meet someone online and they're different in person than they were online. It's really sad. So I really enjoy being able to, meet people in person. You guys get to see that this is me. This is the real person. The personality and stuff online is exactly me, not anybody different. Carburetor float. So this is a Holly Sniper EFI 2, so it is fuel injection. You look really worried. Yes, because I'm a noob, and I do also have anxiety. So, like, it's a really cool experience to be learning something new. It's just high stress, like, luckily I'm not a new driver in general. I'm new to classic cars. I'm new to manual driving. I'm new to this car. So yes, there are a lot of new things involved. Hey, when you just think about it, the first time, if you're good at manual, if just anybody in general, the first time you drive a vehicle, it's usually not the easiest thing to do, right? We all start somewhere. La Ferrari. No, it's not a Ferrari. 1968 Mustang Fastback. I have a Camaro though. I do have a 69 Camaro in my garage that I am building. That is mine. This is my brother's Mustang. Bugatti. You guys are funny. Hey, it would be cool to be able to drive some other cars. I will be driving a Fairlane for at least a portion of the Great Race later this month. I see more and more people driving on the passenger side. What's up with that? No, this isn't the passenger side. So it's, because I have the camera facing like through the screen portion so I can see the screen. It's mirrored. So it looks like I'm on the passenger side. But then again, I have been seeing a lot of people in the passenger side when I've been going to the Holly LS Fest events. There was one guy that was doing donuts that he actually did all the work to change the driver's side to the passenger side. There's some other people that was in the burnout pit, burnout wars, that was on the opposite side. So yes, people have been, and I had never seen it before. But I am on the regular driver's side. It's just mirrored because of the way the camera. I'm identifying as a troll today. I identify as 25. I'll be 25 until I forget my age. Faster go. Hey, you know what? It feels like I go so much faster in this car than I actually am going, which is great because the last thing I want to do is be getting tickets, I'm new, so I don't, as Howard said, you don't know how to fix cars. I am new. That's why my channel is called Christina's Garage Gearhead in Training. So I am learning. The thing is that everybody starts somewhere. Even if you are a kid that grows up in a mechanic family, you go to mechanic school, like even when you're like 1 years old, 2 years old, you don't know what you're doing. It just, if you're in the environment and you start learning earlier on, I am definitely sweating. Oh, well, I guess it kind of worked. Did I lose you guys? Yeah, so my phone just totally overheated. So I literally just took the phone out of the freezer because it overheated. So let me go back through these. Where was I? Oh, cool. I was almost at the end of the comments anyway. Keep driving those old vehicles, keep them alive. Right, like that's actually one thing that I really, oh, I got water on the screen here. Yeah, I just pulled you out of the freezer because it was like emergency temperature. You need to cool down before this works again. So yeah, I'm going to do my best to drive it as much as possible. When my brother comes back from Japan in August, hopefully we'll have the car ready for him by then. And once he'll be moved back, I'm going to tell him to drive it more often. I try to drive it at least once a week. My anxiety has been a little bit high because it's been stalling. And if you guys were here earlier in the video, you saw that it stalled at pretty much every stoplight and stop sign until it got warm enough. So what we might need to do is adjust that there's a cold start setting or something. So I'm going to do some research in that regard to see how I can adjust the settings in the Holly. Also, like what other things do I need to do or need to switch out so that I can get it to drive better. Hello, Steve. Name a car for an edit. Name a car for an edit. Well, my car's name is Blue. Oh, you know what? Well, you guys are here. I'll show you. Do you want to see Blue? It's my 69 Camaro. What car? I was in my brother's 1968 Mustang Fastback, and I'm going to show you guys my 1969 Camaro. What motor? Not an LS. So I have been to Holly LS Fest West and Texas, and I am going to be going to East. I do like learning about it all. I personally am not going to put an LS in my Camaro. If I do end up getting another car, maybe I might do that just to get the experience. Let's see. I can be your driver. It's my brother's car. I don't let anybody else other than my husband's friend Jeff, who's been helping me actually drive it other than me. My husband doesn't even drive it. He also doesn't know how to drive manual. So hello, George. You're absolutely gorgeous. Thank you. I appreciate that. What engine? I don't know what engine's in my brother's Mustang. I have none in mine. This is my Camaro. This is Blue. Is it just me or did the live stream? Yeah, the live stream might get rid of the EFI and put a car back on it. So there's a lot of emotional sentimentality to having the Holly because that's what my dad had on it. He was working really hard to get that to work. And I told myself as soon as I took over these projects that, hey, I'm going to do my best. I'm going to figure out how they work. I'm going to figure out how to work on them and make sure my brother's car's working well. And I am going to be putting it on mine as well. It runs nicely. It's just we're going to have to do some adjustments. I know a lot of people, because I've been going to all the Holly events. I'm actually a Holly influencer as well. I know a lot of people with the Holly systems and everybody, once they figure out how to like tune it properly, get it like communicating well with their car, they work out really great. And I'm super happy with it. It's just a learning curve for me. And it's things that I'm not going to learn as much if I don't struggle. When you struggle, you learn more. Okay, so this is Blue. This is my 1969 Camaro. I'll turn the camera around so you can look. So when my dad passed, okay, I'm going to backtrack. On a year before my 30th birthday, my dad bought this car and it was drivable. It didn't look like this. I don't know what it looked like originally. He stripped it, put it on jack stands, and it was the unibody on jack stands, and he surprised me on my 30th birthday. Since then, I've tried to do some work. Thing is that I started taking it places, so I took it to a body shop and had them do the epoxy primer, and then he also did the overspray. This color here is the color that my dad had someone working on it. The guy, when I asked him like how much would it cost to get it to a point where I can bring it home with me, he was not being straightforward with me. I didn't like that he was playing games. So I decided to take it home with me and find someone else. This is actually, there's a backstory behind this color. So blue is my favorite color. I love blue. Every time we would go to car shows, my dad would ask me, like, what color do you like? We'd look at things, and I didn't like blue with purple in it. I really wanted a blue. And when he showed me this car on my birthday, this was already painted. And then, like, some of the jams, I'm not going to open up the door right now, but, like, some of the jams on the inside, yeah, you guys get to see, like, it's literally stripped. There's nothing, you got to glare. Yeah, so there's nothing in here. And so the color is the exact color that I imagined in my mind. And so honestly though, like since it's been in the epoxy primer with the overspray, like kind of want to leave her like this for a while. I don't know if I want to do the official paint job, at least just yet. So I'm going to get her running. But do you see? There's nothing in here. So right now I am doing all the learning process so that I can learn how to build my engine. I'm going to be rebuilding this 383 stroker, which is, we're not going to be reusing all this stuff. We're just basically the block. We're going to need to machine it and do some other stuff. That's what TEM Performance is going to be helping me with. I'm also talking with Hastings Piston Rings, Cam Motion. I actually just did some content with them when I was at Holly Ellis Fest, Texas, because I'm in that learning process, right? When I get to the point where my engine is done and in the car, I want to be at a point where I can explain why I chose what I chose, why we did what we did. And if anybody has questions, I want to be able to answer them to the best of my ability. In the process, I ask people a lot of questions. My husband hates it because he says I'm interrogating him. No, it's just how I think. I'm just very curious. So I ask a ton of questions. One thing I do want to do is go to a place that does the dyno, because yes, I know what the definition of horsepower and torque is. I want to know, because obviously those words describe a physical thing, right? I want to see and visualize and know like what those things actually are. And Cam Motion suggested that I go to the dyno to see everything on the computer and see how they're actually testing the engine and stuff like that. Hello. Yeah. But if you break down in the middle of a small town, no one auto parts store will have parts for Holly FI system, but they do have carb parts. Yes, that's probably true. But you know what? Like, it's the beautiful thing about the classic cars or aftermarket for automotive in general is that each of us can make the cars how we want it, personalize them. There's after people start making modifications, there's no cars that are exactly the same, and everybody's got their own preferences and personality. And you know what? I respect you and your decision. If you want to have a carburetor in your car, that's great. I am so happy for you. Do I want to learn how to use a carburetor and fix a carburetor and all that stuff? Yes. Actually, Riley's rebuilds at SEMA, when I first met her 2 years ago, it was more than two years ago. Anyway, the first SEMA that I went to, she had a carburetor rebuild class. So it was an Edelbrock carburetor, and she walked us through how to rebuild it. So I actually got to get hands-on on a carburetor and rebuild it, which is cool. So I'm not saying no, I don't want to learn about it. I know plenty of people who have carburetors. Holly does also sell a carburetor, which my husband's friend's well, he's my friend too. My husband hates it because he's like, you're stealing my friend. He gets jealous when him and I start talking cars, and he wants to talk about sports or something else like mid-conversation. It's actually pretty funny. But he wants to do a Holly carb on there. And Holly offers, so just as a heads up, if you guys didn't know, Holly offers classes to the public. You just have to go to Kentucky, Bowling Green, Kentucky to take them, but still, and you do pay for the class, it's not free. But they offer classes on their carburetor, and they have a 3-tiered system for the EFI. They have 3 separate classes, or you can take them all together in one spurt. That's what I'm going to do, and I really want to share that experience so that if anybody else is interested in that as well, that they can take those classes. And any of you guys can sign up for those classes as well. You just have to go to their website, and I forgot what tab it's under. It's under one of the tabs. but it's usually, I'm pretty sure they have like events or dates or something, because you sign up for the class, and I had to scroll all the way down to the bottom. If you guys are curious about it, just reach out to me, and then I'll be able to find that and get those answers for you. Or you can just comment down here, and then we can connect, like maybe send me an email. That'd probably be the easiest way, because you doesn't it's really hard for people to engage other than like basic comments. Like there's not DMs and stuff like how Instagram has. So email is usually the best way to have like a private conversation. So if you guys are interested in taking those classes, please let me know. I am definitely going to sign up for those. They offer them at specific times and dates. I don't off the top of my head know specifically. No, actually, no, the end of this month, they're having some. I'm not going to be able to make these because I'm going to the Great Race. So yeah, do you guys have any questions before I let you go? My phone's starting to die. Luckily, it's not overheating anymore, and I did make it home safe in the Mustang. Oh, this is what the outside of the Mustang looks like. You guys saw what the inside looked like. This is the outside. So I really like the fastback because of the shape. Like the other Mustangs, it comes down here and goes straight down this way. The fastback has that really, like, it's very sleek looking. And I don't know what the Ford color name for this color is. The original color for my Camaro was actually rally green, which you can actually see on the door there. That's the original color. Ooh, it's wanting to zoom out. That's the original color for my Camaro. And it actually had a vinyl top. You can see this was the remnants for the vinyl top. And so I don't know if this is the actual original color. I haven't actually looked up the VIN and stuff on my brother's car to see all of that. But this is what my, hello. So this is what my brother's car looks like from the outside. You guys are going to be covering the cars in a second? Is that?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. I'll
start with the truck.
Okay, yeah. No,
You're not going to move it, huh?
I was thinking, I'll take my husband's car. No big deal. Yeah, you're good. Thank you. Yeah, we're having our house worked on right now. My brother has a clean 500 horsepower what does 3V mean? I'm still really new, so the Mustang built. That's really cool. 500 horsepower is a good amount. Like, I'm learning about horsepower and all that stuff now. It's crazy. Like, some people are like, oh yeah, it's 1,000 something horsepower. I'm like, holy moly. Like, what do you do with that much horsepower? Like, when you regularly drive it, like, what do you do with that? Yeah, so it's a good thing I took the Mustang out when I did, because 3-valve. Oh, interesting. Oh, now I need to look that up. Like, because usually now I'm like trying to think, how many valves do they usually have? Because you have 3 valves. Because usually you have multiple valves, right? You have 2 valves per thing, right? So that'd be 8 times 2. Don't you usually have 16 valves? 2008? Oh, interesting. Oh, I would definitely love to learn more. That'd be really cool. But yeah, so the guys that are painting the house, they need to cover the cars, and I need to go lock up the Mustang and stuff. Hey, I appreciate you so much. I do have membership options. I don't have any members yet, but I really want to do more of these lives exclusive just for members. But right now I don't have any members. So also I do have a $50 value prize that I'm going to give to the first person who signs up to be a member on my channel. Or if you guys don't want to do that, that's okay. I totally respect that. If you guys just watch my videos, it helps support me. Share and like, subscribe. And I love the interaction. So I really appreciate you guys are commenting, because I really like it's hard to put yourself out there, especially when I'm new and I'm learning what I'm doing as I go. And then when there's no engagement, I feel like I'm talking to myself. So like when you guys are engaging with me, helping share information, like, I'd prefer not to have the inappropriate comments or really mean comments, because that doesn't help anybody. I don't learn from that kind of thing. But like you guys explaining what a 3-valve is, like I've learned what faux louvers mean and all these things because of my subscribers like helping me learn as I go. And then obviously when I'm out in the world learning from the professionals and other things like that. So you guys are awesome. Is there any other questions or anything before I let you go? Because I have to, we're going to be leaving in like 2 hours. We're going to be jumping on a plane and going to St. Louis for First Form's Summer Smash. And I will try to go live on, I think it's Friday, because we're going to be going to, they're going to be doing like a car show, I think, with more exotic cars. So I might go live and show you guys some of that. Yeah, so it doesn't seem like you guys have any more questions. Again, I really, really appreciate you. And I wouldn't be doing this. I wouldn't be making progress without your support and without your help. And, you know, you're helping me be able to learn so I can keep my dad's legacy alive, create my own legacy, and also help my family. And along the way, I want to inspire other people like yourselves. Like, you know, hey, if I can do it, you can do it too. So, okay, you guys are awesome. And I will do my best to actually post a long form video this week. Last week, I was just, my anxiety was through the roof, and I decided to kind of take a break to let my nerves kind of down regulate a little bit. But I do have some content I do need to edit that I do plan to post. So if you guys like this video, want me to go live more often when I'm driving, please let me know. And I'll see you guys later.